6 to 5.
Seems the same every year at Cheltenham. The winter weather goes, the sun comes out and the ground dries up. They have had a bit of rain in the last few days and that will have helped. It's good to soft ground at the moment and that should be reasonable for everyone, but you can't please all the people all the time, can you, with the ground?
No, you can't. They just didn't let it get too quick anymore at Cheltenham. I'm glad he took the decision to stop watering a few days ago because that, takes some uncertainty out of it. They're thinking there's going to be some rain on Tuesday, I believe. So I think it will definitely start on the softish side, Eddie, won't it? Might dry out as the week goes on.
A little bit of rain will just take the sting out of the ground on the first day, and when the tapes go up, the hairs on the back of your neck really stand up because there's a roar of a crowd of about 50,000 for the Supreme Novices hurdle.
Everybody likes to start off with a winner. And the Irish have a strong contender in Cousin Vinny for the Supreme Novices hurdle. Just a little bit worried about Patrick Mullins riding it. He's got limited experience over hurdles in Ireland, and there's no give or take in the Supreme hurdle, is there, in a big field, Eddie, with a breakneck gallop. I think I'd be looking for something against Cousin Vinny, if indeed he runs in that race, because he has other alternative engagements.
I think he will run in that race.
But I think he will.
Poor Patrick fell off him last time at Leopardstown, but that wasn't his fault. The horse stumbled after the hurdle and he couldn't stay on board. That'll be at the back of his mind, though. Another mistake like that could mean curtains, and the Irish won't start off well. And the Irish have done so well in recent years, but they've got no contenders in the big championship races this year. Is that maybe down to their state of their economy or something deeper within racing?
Yes, the Irish went through a golden era, didn't they, with their Gold Cup horses and champion hurdlers, who are all just aging a bit now, and there doesn't seem to be anything coming through unless horses like Cousin Vinny and Mikel Dagany go on and prove to be champions. But as things stand going into this week, they have a bit to prove, the Irish.
There are several very rich owners in England who've pumped money into the sport of national hunt racing, and at the moment they're dominating. A few years ago, the Irish used to sell their horses onto the English. Now they tend to keep hold of them longer and run them themselves. They still win handicaps and the novice races, but it's the championship races where they fall down. There'll be 7,500 Irish over for the festival, I think. That's the sort of figures, although Edward Gillespie, the boss at Cheltenham, says he's expecting about 80% of turnover in the hospitality areas. It's going to be worse next year, Ron. Do you think racing's going to hold up in these big festival meetings?
The bookings have already been made. A lot of things will stand for this year's meeting. It will be interesting to see how it works out next year and further down the line at the big flat meetings as well. There are just a few signs that corporate hospitality is going to be cut back. And I thought it was interesting, next week the Tote run their special train each day from London, and they've cancelled Thursday's train because of a lack of interest there, I gather. They just couldn't get enough people to warrant running the train that day, which is something kind of unheard of in recent years, given the popularity of the festivals.
One of the bookmakers is offering prices on the amount of pints of Guinness to be sold over the 4 days, and they're expecting fewer pints of Guinness to be served over this festival than last year. But tickets sales are down on last year, but it's still going to be magnificent. I'm very keen on a horse on the Tuesday in the Arkle Chase, a horse called Tartak, who produced a splendid performance at Kempton last time in an extremely fast time. And the trainer, Tom George, who doesn't train far from Cheltenham, a place called Slad, just down the road near Stroud, has an extraordinary recent record. And Tartak, an enormous price at about 20 to 1.
Well, one horse I'm really looking forward to seeing next week is Cape Tribulation, who won really well at Doncaster. He's a novice hurdler trained by Malcolm Jefferson, who's had few runners at the festival down the years, but he's had winners. I thought this horse put up a tremendous performance. Depending on the ground, he might end up in the 3-mile race, the Albert Bartlett, on the Friday. But if he's in the Ballymore properties, if the ground's soft enough, I think he'd have a good chance there as well. Yeah, Cape Tribulation.
Yeah, we're at loggerheads all the time, aren't we?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, forever firing off emails, abusive emails at each other. But
actually, we don't talk. This is as close as we ever get to each other.
Now, the important thing is to get to the end of next Friday in one piece, with the wallet intact.
You know, the wallet's supposed to be bulging at the end of the week. It will be if you follow the Observer's tips.
Right, Eddie.
The Guardian, no.
Nah.